Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of The Impractical Proudness of Parents, Ipop. First up, entitled Parents Really Want Me to Date Their Daughter, by Demon Frage. Two things. First of all, this happened in 2022, but it's been on my mind constantly. I never posted it because it kinda sounds a bit too fake. In recent times, I've cared less and less about people caring if what I say on the internet is real or not. Also, to be honest, this story makes me mildly uncomfortable, even more than other things I've talked about on this account. For that reason, I'm gonna be joking a little bit. Second, I've been going back and forth on this, if this should be an Am I the Asshole post, because I was a bit of a dick, I'll bet you weren't. But at the same time, I think there are many a-holes in this story that it doesn't actually matter. Also, because this was so long ago, I'm just gonna name off each event like a timeless police report. I was working at O'Reilly Auto Parts. The store is empty, a couple walks in. They patrol the store for a bit. They come up to me. I begin to ask them what the year, make, and model of their car was. But the wife stopped me mid-sentence. "Hey, I think you're really cute. You should have our grandbabies." In a bit of confusion, I asked, "What?" She repeats herself. "I think you're really cute. You should have her grandbabies. Here's a picture of my daughter. Don't you think she's cute?" She shows me a picture of her daughter. Frankly, I was already uncomfortable, and she wasn't my type anyway. So I sort of looked at the two of them, smiled, and said, "She's beautiful." What you should have said is I wouldn't shag her with someone else's. Gonna shut it down right away. I said it in a bit of a sarcastic tone, though, and I think that's likely what set off future events. Now, quieter and less excited, she starts to tell me the vehicle information. It was a Dodge Durango, but I can't remember the year. She was looking for brake rotors. Well, apparently she doesn't know how to pump the brakes. And I think spark plugs also. I know she was looking for something else, a clue, but I can't necessarily remember due to the father staring at me through my soul and out of my ass. This whole interaction, he's just been standing there like a clone, staring directly into my eyes. I mean, you are awful pretty, apparently. Like he's about to judge me at the gates of heaven and send me down to hell. That's where the party is, apparently. At some point, while Mom was yapping about how they're in this situation, I accidentally look far too long at the void within the father's eyes, and he reacts out of nowhere. He starts cussing me out. A string of curses ensue, asking what my problem is, that I think his daughter's ugly, what's wrong with me, and something about my butthole. I swear it just keeps going. Then the mom starts wailing and crying out of nowhere. She sounded like a bomb siren or a hurricane warning. She had tears flowing out of her eyes, 40-plus years old, and there was tears all over the floor within seconds. And the thing is, she was chill 2 seconds ago. But now she's sobbing and screaming like she just watched her whole family get murdered. And the dad just keeps going, and his words start becoming nonsensical. He just starts putting words together like a kid who just got handed a set of Lego and was told, "Do it." It's around this time where I look over and see my coworker just behind me in the little corner bit just out of view of the front of the store, giving me that "what the hell is happening" look. And I flash the same look back. Now, another customer walks in the building, sees the chaos, and turns around instantly. Frankly, this was hilarious, and, overcome with hilarity, I let out a little chuckle before turning around to go into the office to hide my laugh. But then the father started crashing out. He grabbed a whole handful of those lubricants and threw them across the store. Dude, subtlety. He doesn't want to date your daughter. This gets me to turn around, and I swear to God, he runs away from the counter, does 2 combat rolls down the spray paint aisle like that cop who got scared by an acorn, punches an air filter, rips off his shirt, lets out a primal screech, and sprints out the store, followed by his wife, who was still crying this whole time. I mean, to be fair, life is quite overwhelming these days. I cross the counter and watch as they ditch their car, sprint across the busy road together, luckily not being hit, well, that would ruin somebody else's day, and sprint down the sidewalk on the other side of the store. Now, I lived in an area with a lot of drug addicts, you don't say. And people like that, but this was a whole different breed of strange. Oh no, they were high. Me and my co-worker would not stop talking about that for the next month. Their car stayed in the parking lot for 3 days before my manager got it towed. I never saw those people again. Alright, story number 2. Mother-in-law, always the victim. By Acceptable Row, 9599. My mother-in-law has always played the victim, and I learned this very early on from one of the first few meetings. What I also learnt was that she is an extremely aggressive woman who constantly falls out with friends. Her life is the hardest out of anyone, and she always has some kind of issue. I've had an issue with her from very early on, as she was very clear on making me feel like I was taking her son away. What is it with these... Oh, you're taking my son away. Well, you don't want to shag him, do you? Please tell me you don't. This was never the case. Sadly, my dear mother-in-law is by herself, and she has been around the block. Married twice and divorced twice, wonder why. But of course, neither divorce was her fault. When darling husband and I were getting married, she wanted her own car to take darling husband and her to the church, and stamped her feet until she got her way. My bachelorette party she kicked off on the first night to my mum, saying how her boy had left her high and dry, and I took him. Surprisingly, our wedding she actually semi-behaved, except for having a face on her constantly. Thankfully, this worked in our favor, as everyone could see what an idiot she is. And then we found out my brother was pregnant before us, and her first comment was, "You would have thought he'd let you go first since he's not married yet." Who knew it was a cute system? When we did find out we were pregnant, she claimed to have already known. And any time she would rarely see me, she would try to touch my bump, even though I would constantly tell her I don't like it. Then the real games began. Our little boy arrived 2 weeks early, and you can bet she was at our house the day after we got out of hospital, empty-handed. Not a scrap of food or flowers. One thing about my mother-in-law is she constantly overstays her visit by a good few hours. This woman turned up at 4 p.m., she was meant to arrive at 2 p.m., and she left at 10 p.m. At 6 p.m., she asked me what I was making for dinner. Looking back, I wish I had stood up for myself, but in all honesty, I'm scared of how she would react, as she's so unpredictable and so aggressive. I cooked for this woman and her mother at 2 days postpartum. And while they sat there and did nothing, I cleaned up the dishes. It's a miracle my mental health stayed intact now looking back. About a month ago, our baby is now 6 months. I found that she's spoken about me, spreading complete lies, and brought up a family member on my side and said some horrendous things. When I called her out on these things, she instantly played the victim. I have not seen her since, nor do I ever plan on seeing her ever again. Good choice. My husband always promised that she ever involved our child or anything, he would cut her off. He's always been good at pulling her up for things and telling her she's wrong. But today he said it's not realistic for her to never see our child again, and that's not him saying he forgives her or wants to see her anytime soon. Am I the asshole for hoping that he never forgives her? Sees her again, or I don't know. How would I handle him taking my child to see her? Well, at the end of the day, you're the parents. She's not. She's proven time and time again she doesn't deserve a place within the lives you've built for yourself. And your husband needs to get on board with this, quite frankly. I'm sorry if I sound harsh here, but it is realistic to go no contact with a toxic parent. Both of your priorities now is your child, and this woman's influence isn't going to be a positive one, especially not in these very important early stages of your child's life. So no, you're not the asshole. Edit. I have a list on my phone of some of the things she's done to me, one of which was when my sister had 2 miscarriages. She asked what my sister was doing so long she kept losing her kids. She thought there was nothing wrong with that comment. Story number 3. I'm gonna get angry before this one's done, I swear. This video, not that story. Gonna get angry. Number 3. And the lie unravels 28 years later. By Riffs. So now that we are no contact with mother-in-law, see? A lie she told darling husband and I 28 years ago unraveled in front of my eyes yesterday. As I mentioned in other posts, she is single and is never married. 28 years ago, a friend of hers invited mother-in-law to rent her basement and be her roommate. Mother-in-law thought this was a great idea and moved in. At the time, darling husband and I had been married 4 years, and we had a 3-year-old son. He had some training courses he needed to take in the city where mother-in-law lived, so the 3 of us were invited to stay at her house while this was happening. We had to stay for 4-day intervals each time during 3 training courses. After the training courses were finished, mother-in-law asked to meet with us. She informed us she would be moving out of this home and leaving her roommate situation because her roommate had an issue with me. Mother-in-law said that I can be off-putting, and her roommate felt I was lazy and took up too much space. The roommate said that I wasn't welcome to stay in their home anymore, but my husband could if it was just him or just him and the little one that were in need of staying. How did she think this was going to work out? Mother-in-law said in her best martyr tone that she was making the sacrifice and the expense of moving out because she was not going to live where her daughter-in-law wasn't welcome. I was stunned and flabbergasted, mostly because I'd made sure our family remained as out of the way as possible while we stayed there. It was a large home, and it was easy to just keep to our little space we took up for this brief period of time. During the days, I cleaned their home as a thank you, and with permission, cooked all the meals for them while there, also as a thank you. We truly paid our way while attending these 3 courses, and the roommate had never been anything but kind to me. I felt devastated and didn't know what I had done to create such a terrible impression that I got banned from this home, and my mother-in-law had to turn her life upside down and move out. I bought into it hook, line, and sinker, and believed this lie fully. 28 years later, I just found out this old roommate is living in the apartment beside me. What are the chances? She remembers all of us very well. She described mother-in-law as, well, let's just say a very unique and different personality. Not easy to live with. I had to request she move out. But I thought it was me she had an issue with. Her response, absolutely not. Never. You guys were always welcome in my home, and I had no issues with you. I just couldn't live with your mother-in-law. So my stinking mother-in-law lied and made me out to be the villain of this situation all these years. The reason she's left to live all alone, because she has a daughter-in-law that isn't easily liked by others. Bullcrap. I can't believe I never once challenged this and just blindly thought it was the truth. Thank goodness lies just don't stay hidden. Eventually the truth always comes out. Well, that was outrageous. Story number 4. Mother-in-law is constantly looking at her laundry and involving herself in switching our loads. By Comprehensive Bad 242. My man and I live with my mother-in-law for almost 4 years now. We pay rent, buy our own food and toiletries. We cook our own meals, etc. For years, my mother-in-law can't seem to stay away from our laundry. We keep our laundry hampers in our bedroom, and we have a door handle that requires a code to get into our room. Futuristic. We really value our privacy. My mother-in-law seems to have an obsession with our laundry. When we have a load in the washer, she'll go to the laundry room just to stare at it while she washes. My man and I both set timers for our laundry, so we can switch it over promptly. This morning, I had some sheets in the washer and set a timer for 1 hour and 20 minutes. The washer read 1 hour and 25 minutes. When my timer went off, I went to check on the laundry and boom! Mother-in-law had already magically switched our sheets to the dryer and started one of her loads in the washer. I understand if it had been sitting for a few minutes, that would be reasonable, or something, and she needed to wash clothes. But she literally had to have switched our sheets over the second they were done. Oh, she was just waiting for that door click. She was waiting there. Come on, any minute now. Then she walked downstairs to the laundry room multiple times just to watch the laundry run. Do y'all not have a TV in that house? My man even walked... I gotta say, I love the way you're saying that. Even walked past the laundry room, and she informed him that she checked on our sheets that were in the dryer and fluffed them up so they could dry properly. After this, my man pretended to busy himself in the storage room we have directly across from the laundry room just to see what she was doing. She proceeded to stand and just watch the laundry. This is such odd behavior, it really is. This has been an ongoing issue. Additionally, she's developed a liking for cutting plastic laundry baskets in half. She'll come down to wash her full half basket and act like it's the most important thing on the planet when really it's like 5 shirts and a few cleaning rags. But despite the load of clothes being the most important thing in life, she'll leave it sitting in the washer for days just rotting. Oh, then you've got to wash them again. I feel bad if I leave them overnight and I get a little refresh in the morning. Ignore me. She never actually has to do laundry until we start a load. Then the laundry room is where she has to be for no reason. It's so frustrating. Especially considering the fact that she has literally 3 closets for all her clothes because she has so many. One of the closets has extra rods to accommodate the insane amount of clothes she owns. She literally could wear something new from her closets every single day for years. Damn. I just really don't understand the obsession over our laundry. It makes me feel uncomfortable, and it feels like a total invasion of privacy. I have never felt the need to go and stock other people's clothes in the washer or dryer. I don't understand what she gains from it or why she does it. I really want to bring this up to her, but frankly, I don't think I can without being mean because her actions are just so unreasonable. She also used to look at our trash that we would throw away, so we resorted to getting a case of black t-shirt bags for our trash cans in our room. So if she wants to look through our trash, she'd have to cut the bags open. It's frustrating to have to go to such lengths, however, just to have a smidge of privacy. I'm so over it. Update. Ordering giant-ass googly eyes to put on the washer and dryer so if she wants to watch something, something can watch her back. I think Nietzsche wrote something about that. Also worth noting, she only does this when we wash our sheets. How ridiculous. Because the sheets are where the magic happens? I cannot think of a reasonable explanation for why she would be doing that. I mean, y'all live in the same house, so you see each other all the time. It's not like, I'm assuming you must talk to each other, so it's not like you think, oh, laundry time, that's the one time I can hang out there and I can be close to them. No, there's really no reason for it. Does she have friends? Does she go out and do things? Quite odd. Alrighty. Fifth and final story is Accused of Stealing Packages by Mama Love 0223. So, the neighbor I'm going to talk about is a mom. Just like me. Moving in, I got really excited realizing there would be another parent in my building. We had a conversation one time, and I told her I'd love a new mom friend. I'd love to go on a walk with her, because I noticed she likes walks. Love to set up a play date for our kids who are very close in age. I thought everything was cool for a bit, but she never talked to me after that interaction. She had installed a camera shortly after we had that conversation. I didn't think anything of it. I talked to it because I thought it was funny. And I was slightly uncomfortable knowing I was being recorded, so to cope with all the feelings I was having in that moment, I just said, "Does the light always turn blue when it's on?" Because there's a blue light on the camera at night, I guess. I can see now how it would be perceived kinda weird, but I didn't think about it in that moment. We all do silly things when we're nervous. I found out from a friend of my next-door neighbor that my next-door neighbor had been sent a video by the mom neighbor, who was below him, next-door neighbor. A video of me saying that quote, and my mom neighbor had told him that she thinks I've been stealing her packages. Because we always say hello to the Ring camera before we steal a package. Just so that Amazon knows we don't care. Or not. The only thing I could think of as to why she would think this is because we order the exact same size and brand of diapers for our kids. Maybe she saw a box of diapers by my door and thought I had taken them from her. She has been acting really weird. My mom and I stepped outside to go to my car, and as soon as I stepped out on the sidewalk, in view from her bedroom window, her car locked. But she was not outside. My mom thought it was weird. Then, yesterday, I was playing with my daughter. She likes to pretend to drive my car, so we are heading to my front seat, and the mom neighbor comes through the parking lot looking at me, eye rolls, and drives past her spot, waiting until I go upstairs to my apartment. My daughter and I had to come back outside to get back in my car after putting groceries away to go to the bank. And she was just sitting in her car, in her parking spot, when we came back outside, on the phone or something, and would not come out of her car until we had left. So, she is watching me on her phone through the camera that she set up. Or through her window, or both, something, I don't know. The accusation about stealing packages really hurt me because that's not who I am. And I don't know how... If she thinks you're stealing packages, why hasn't her camera caught it? She's got nothing. It's a huge misrepresentation of me as a person, and it has caused me a lot of distress. That and the weird behavior. I've thought about writing a note to her, oh, don't do that, and trying to clear things up, but I'm not sure if it's worth it. No, just make things worse. On top of all this, I found out she's in the same mom group I'm on Facebook, and she made a post about creating big in-person gatherings for all the moms in the area, and there were so many comments of people saying they want to be involved. I'm worried if I comment on her post saying I'd like to be involved and have other mom friends just like her, or post in the group, she's going to tell people things about me that aren't true. But maybe I'm starting to get paranoid. She is telling everyone in this group that it's so hard to find mom friends and everything is isolating. But I guess I just find it really ironic and like a slap in the face because I've tried to be that for her. And she has made me feel isolated, confused, and very hurt. I've had meltdowns over this stuff. I've tried to be so friendly and chill. I really wanted to be a support for her. I don't know. I don't want to be like rivals or something. I don't want drama, especially between or for either of our kids. Everyone tells me not to care about this stuff. It's hard not to. I don't know how to deal with this. you've just got to forget she exists, basically. I mean, if she's being weird, okay, let her be weird. I'd watch my own packages if I were you. Maybe, if you're allowed to do so, install a camera on your door so that anything that arrives for you, you can see. I really wouldn't give her the time of day. She doesn't deserve to be taking up this much space in your head. You've got more important things to be thinking about. And I know you are. I'm not saying you're shirking your responsibilities. I'm certainly not saying that. But, you know, she's just weird. That's what it boils down to. Some people are just weird. You try to befriend her early on, and maybe for whatever reason you guys didn't click, and that's fine. Sometimes people just don't click. And I think most people would have realized, unless it was a constant thing, that when you talking to the camera the first time, it was a nervous reaction. The fact that she's not giving you the benefit of the doubt, I think it speaks volumes about her. I wouldn't worry about it. Just little by little, over time, let it go. It's the best thing for you. And you'll make other friends in time, and maybe she will, but... And that brings us to the end of today's video. Big thanks to everyone who allowed me to use their stories. If you'd like to support the channel, you can do so by signing up for my Patreon page, which is linked in the description. Just click Show More, Description, Patreon. $1 or more a month gets you early access to all the videos at once on Monday. You'll also find a link to my merchandise store and Teespring, as well as my Discord and Threads. And if you need to contact me, that's kingofthecities@gmail.com, also written in the description, if you need to send me a story, you have business inquiries, or you want a shout out of some kind. That's everything for now, so until next time, thank you very much for watching, and take very good care of yourselves.